a couple of minutes ahead of schedule. Um, we do have Coach Bob Diaco from UConn on the line. The Huskies are 3-3 overall, 1-1 in the American Athletic Conference. UConn was in action this past Saturday at UCF. UConn won the game 40-13. Up next for the Huskies will be this Saturday against USF. That game will be at Pratt & Whitney Stadium in East Hartford. Will be a noon Eastern Time start on ESPNU. Coach, thank you for joining us on the call this morning. If you would take a minute to tie up the trip to Orlando and the win against UCF, and tell us what you expect to see as you return home to face USF Saturday, please.
Yeah, just good, to have the team finally get our, as a program, our first road win. Been a long time coming. And, we've just been, tapping at the rock and, was expecting it to break. And in terms of how we do our logistical business on a road trip, you get questions and thinking about, do we do the right thing? Is there a way to tweak it to make this better? But we felt strongly about how we traveled and how we prepared leading up to those road games, that it was good to see it come to fruition. The game was entertaining. The game was fun. Executed with class and character on both sides of the field, and we're glad to get the win. Both teams played hard. Like I said, it was a great college experience. And then this week, exciting challenge with South Florida. They present a lot of problems in all three phases. They have a couple of really electric players in all three phases, and are a team that's on fire. They great win against Syracuse, where they beat them soundly in all three phases, and then and have been highly competitive in the other games. There's not a game that what didn't come down to a fourth quarter situation. Memphis, Florida State was competitive. So this is a heck of a football team.
Take questions for Coach Diaco, please. Star 1 on your telephone to join the queue. Then the operator will introduce you.
We have a question from Matt Fortuna with ESPN.com.
Hi, Bob. How are you?
Good, Matt. How are you?
Not bad. Thanks for asking. Just curious. I know it's early in the season. You've only played 2 league games, but you got a general sense for just how much more improved and kind of more balanced the league as a whole is this season than last year?
Oh yeah, no, that's the thing. We've had a couple of teams in our league that could beat anybody in the country, and have proven that. But now we've got top to bottom teams that are winning and in other contests playing off their feet against any opponent. So it's been an impressive year for the American Conference.
A lot of new coaches or young coaches throughout the league, and obviously those teams are only going to get better. UConn among them. How much, I guess, different or easier is it for you this time, the second time around, in your second year as a head coach, just getting a feel for the team and getting them prepared for big games like this?
Yeah, Matt, I wouldn't say easier, but it's so different. It's so different. It just, you push yourself to be better, and that creates its own new challenges. But the challenges from a year ago really are no longer present, which is great. The team is so much stronger. There's more available players. The academic piece is much stronger. They're emotionally stronger. The general care and overall spirit is risen, and then execution. So there's an anticipatory feeling for everyone involved as it relates to the calls and how to execute the calls, and that creates a whole nother level of speed and performance when there's an elimination of confusion. So it's not any easier. I don't think easier is an appropriate word, but definitely different and way better.
Thanks, Bob.
Sure, Matt.
And do you have other questions for Coach Diaco, please? Star 1 on your telephone, if so. Coach, I'd just like to ask him for the benefit maybe of our Tampa guys who will be joining later in the call. Then, if when you see the game against USF Saturday, do you see them? You referenced what they did against Syracuse. Do you see that in many ways as maybe a mirror of what you've been trying to do there? As a team that kind of where it all came together in a positive way this past week. Is there any similarities you can draw?
Yeah, I think that they're either 2 or 3 years out in front of our program as it relates to development with Coach Taggart's staff and team. So they were, like I said, sound in all 3 phases, and it's definitely a great picture of what they've become and been able to become, and then also you look to it and say, hey, this is a model. Just keep doing what you're doing and stay the course, and you get better.
And we do have another question in the queue, if you would.
We'll hear from Joy Knight with Tampa Bay Times.
Bob, I was just curious what your impressions are of USF quarterback Quentin Flowers.
Yeah, electric. Just a dynamic player. He's on his work as it relates to the reads he needs to make and where to go with the ball. He creates a major stress both in the run game and the passing game, as he's a legitimate force in the alley, and then also a strong passer that can attack with perimeter controls off of those runs and also push the ball down the field to some very talented wide receivers. So he is, to me, the profile of what you're looking for from a tangible trait standpoint for that offense. Strong runner, but also a guy that can throw. It's not a wildcat quarterback. It's a legitimate guy that can move the ball around the field.
And run blocking gets kind of a bad rap in this day and age in the spread, but does it look like they're run blocking effectively up front?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the running back is one of the most productive players in America. I think he's in the top 5 or top 10 in production in running. And then that's not even counting the quarterback's production. I don't think that they've been sacked all that much, and that's all. A lot of it is kudos to the guys in the trenches, those 5 guys, and then also the 2 or 3 tight ends that are rotating in and out on a play-to-play basis. So it's a talented group.
Thanks.
Coach, we thank you for your time this morning. We look forward to hearing from you again next
Thank
week.
you.